Getting early, Shana Tova to everybody who's celebrating New Year's next week. And yes, fast, and easy fast, the week after that. My name is Gregg Lerman. I'm running for state attorney. I am a criminal defense attorney. That's what I've done for 38 years in Palm Beach County. Many people say, many people ask, how can you be a criminal defense attorney and become a prosecutor? Well, first of all, it wouldn't be the first time Barry Fisher was a criminal defense attorney and then became the state attorney of Palm Beach County. So it's not that unusual to happen, and I've had friends, including in the office now, there are people who were public defenders for years and criminal defense attorneys that became prosecutors. It is possible, and it's actually a good thing, because for 38 years, my wife and I have lived in Palm Beach County and raised 2 children. And now I have grandchildren and I have in-laws that live just down the road. And for 38 years, I've been a criminal defense attorney. And I've worked in each and every part, or with each and every part, of the state attorney's office. There are a lot of great state attorneys. I was just in trial this week with a bunch of great state attorneys, 3, that really did a good job. And I kicked my ass, to put it plainly. All right? I lost. They won. And that's justice. But about 2 years ago, and certainly a year ago, I started to see some cracks in the wall, so to speak. Some problems that I identified. And I'm not going to go into detail now. If somebody wants to sit down with me and talk about it, I'll be more than happy to. But I started to see some problems. And I heard that Dave wasn't going to run for re-election. And last summer, that's when I decided, if Dave's not going to run, I'm going to run. By working with each and every part of this office, I know where the good is. I know where the bad is. I know what needs to be fixed, and I think I know how to fix it. As a defense attorney, it's my job to play devil's advocate with my clients, to prepare them for what the prosecutor is going to give them. I think that's a problem sometimes in the state attorney's office. They don't know how to play devil's advocate. They don't know how to deal with what the defense is going to give them. I can help in that aspect. As it relates to this room, how can I help? What can I do? What do I see that there's a problem? For the last few months, if not for the last year, I've consistently heard from victims, not defendants charged with elder fraud or elder abuse, but from victims that have been calling me. And that is an under-prosecuted crime in Palm Beach County. Now, why is that? Some of it is because it's underreported. Some of it is because, unfortunately, our seniors are embarrassed when they lose money or they're defrauded and they don't want to come forward. The state attorney's office is not just about prosecuting people. It's about educating the citizens of Palm Beach County so they know when they've been defrauded, so they can keep themselves from being defrauded, so they're willing to come forward and prosecute those people who have committed fraud upon them, and getting more enforcement, which is sometimes where the problem lies also, to take those crimes seriously. I've been told that it's a difficult crime to prosecute because of the age of victims and other things in memory. It needs to be dealt with. It is an important issue. My own mother, God rest her soul, when she had a CNA taking care of her, all of a sudden I'm looking in the checkbooks and there's checks not signed by my mother that were disappearing. And I had to deal with that issue and make sure that it was taken care of because the CNA was taking money. Now that's not to say that all CNAs are horrible, there's great CNAs out there. But the families of seniors themselves need to be aware and educated to watch out for fraud. If you're taken to a bank by some young person who's convinced you that they need a loan in your help and you have your apartment paid for, don't take out a loan and give them the money. Because I know that just happened to a friend of mine. And her name, young people came up, took out a $100,000 loan, and that person disappeared, and that woman ended up passing away with a $100,000 debt that now somebody else is responsible for paying in order to save that apartment and keep it from being put into foreclosure. That's just one example of an area of law that I see that needs to be dealt with that specifically deals with the issues of Kings Point and other seniors in this community, and it's an important issue. I can train these prosecutors, I can teach them, I do that now. I took a teaching moment the other day with a young lawyer and told him this is what you need to do. I don't care whether the defense attorneys are prosecutors. It is important that the young lawyers learn. The state attorney's office is not just about prosecuting. It's about working with law enforcement, working with the community, and protecting our citizens. Thank you.